All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. We'd like to give double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect in 1/3, pushing us 100% truth across the four winds so we can seal it like and make it to the kingdom. All right, we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and portions of our people that are scattered abroad throughout all the world, all right, that believe in this truth, that are under the curses, hasten the day of Yahushai's return. And we are commanded to go out on the highways and hedges, all right, of what you know as America, which is prophesied in the Bible as Babylon, to prophesy the destruction of this place while simultaneously sealing the Lord's elect, okay? We're going to start in the book of Obadiah. You can read right from the top.
Yep. Saint Obadiah in verse 1, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom.
Right, this is a vision concerning in particular nation of people. Now, Esau, Edom, all right, is prophesied to be ruling in the last days, okay? The story that you see unfolding before your eyes is a story between Jacob and Esau. Now, Esau has been given the earth, all right? He controls your media, he controls your food supply, he controls your water, he controls your politics and policies and governments, and most importantly, he controls your money, all right? He controls the monetary system. And if you didn't know, all right, throughout history, a recurring theme is politics, war, and money, okay? And that's the devil's recipe for destruction, all right? Controlling the powers that be. Get that Romans 13 real quick. You got something?
Yep, I have a quick one.
Oh, okay. Well, read yours, brother.
This is Daniel chapter 4 and verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
Right. The Most High rules in the kingdom of men. So he ruled in the kingdom of the Egyptians, the Babylonians, the Medo-Persians, the Greeks, the Romans. Fast forward all the way today, okay, the deadly wound being healed, he rules in the kingdom of the virgin daughter of Babylon. That's why the scriptures say he mustereth the host of the battle. So when you look through history, empires were transitioned through what? Through war, okay, through destruction. All right, now Esau, Edom has monopolized that system. War, money, empire. War, money, empire. All throughout the world, see, when you look on the world map, 65% of the country's currency is the US dollar. Why? Because they rule it through war and through policies of politics. Okay? So keep going.
It says, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men.
Right. Now, it was the Nebuchadnezzar II, his son Belshazzar, he was drinking from our royal vessels, which later on Edomite Greek took, y'all brothers know. But before that, you had, what was Belshazzar? Assyrian, right? Yeah, Nebuchadnezzar was Assyrian. I believe he was Assyrian.
Yep, that was the gold of the Assyrian.
So they had our precious vessels. And then the Lord wrote on the wall, and then he got besieged that night by the Persians, who is today who? Iran. Iran. You see, so the Lord deals in kingdoms, all right? He deals with men on these levels, and he's with them. Matter of fact, since we're speaking about Esau, now go to Deuteronomy, the 2nd chapter, and read this one verse again.
Yep. Back in Obadiah 1 and verse 1, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh Shai and an ambassador and sent among the heathens, arise ye, arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
See, in battle. Like right now, you got to understand there's a reason why there's a third war. Because this third war is going to transition kingdoms from the kingdom of the Edomites to the kingdom of the Israelites. But the Lord is going to use other nations to battle together for this transition of power that we're getting ready to see. That's why there's key things you have to follow with prophecy. You can't just say Esau's going into slavery. You have to understand the building blocks that's going to lead to those things, such as politics, transition of power, money, currency. All right, those things play a major part in war. what proves that, which Lord's will go in depth, what proves that is 1914. That was what? World War I. What else happened in 1914? The first printed US dollar, all right? 1933, gold was taken away from the standard that backed your US dollar in 1933 under Theodore Roosevelt. And then in 1939, what took place? World War II. Then in 1944, they instituted the Bretton Woods Agreement that brought back gold to back the US dollar. So the world accepted the US dollar, and then World War II ended in 1945. So if you always notice with Esau, the same tactics take place. Money, war, politicians. Money, war, politicians. Because each president that instituted the policy, he had a fake 1948 Edomite that was in his ear. Okay, now when did gold get taken from the dollar? Do you know? 1971 under Richard Nixon. Now, do you know who told who was Richard Nixon's Secretary of State was at that time? Harry Kissinger. Harry Kissinger is a Teemanite. Harry Kissinger is famous for saying that soldiers are nothing but dumb beasts used as pawns in war. You see? So in 1971, they took gold from off the dollar, but what kept the dollar relevant? When Nixon made the deal with the Saudi Arabians to have oil be backed by the dollar, that's why today you have the petrodollar. You see? So Esau always works with money, politicians, and war. You follow the money, you follow the war, follow the politician, and follow who's in his ear. Who's in his ear? The elites, the elite bankers. Okay? So the Lord is with Esau doing this. Now, real quick, a fun fact. Now, we all know that Esau rules the banks, right? Now, what year did the Edomites control the banking system? 1694. And guess what banking system he controlled? A British. 1607, Britain came all the way over here. Britain came all the way over. Britain left the Europe land and came all the way over to America in 1607. Then the Pilgrims came when? 1619. But if you look at it, the Lord used both of these Edomites to come to this land, like the space race. Babylon, America was nothing more than the moon, if you will, and all these Edomites were all flocking to it. 1492, who came here? Columbus. The Spanish. They all were coming here for this landmass, because before the dollar, what was currency? Land. You see, this is the tactics how Esau has always used, and he's using it to this day. So if you want to follow war, follow the money. Read this.
Verse 17?
Yep, start at 17.
Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 17. Then Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai spake unto me, saying, Thou art to pass over through Ar, the coast of Moab.
Read it loud, brother. Read it loud.
Says, Thou art to pass over through Ar, the coast of Moab, this day. And when thou comest nigh over against the children of Ammon, distress them not, nor meddle with them.
This is the Lord talking to us on our journeys, okay? This is before we jacked up the land of Canaan. You see, we're getting our laws, our statutes, our judgments, right? So the Lord has given us a commandment. Keep going.
It says, For I will not give thee of the land of the children of Ammon any possession, because I have given it unto the children of Lot for a possession.
Keep going.
That also was accounted a land of giants. Giants dwelt therein in old time, and the Ammonites called them Zuzims.
Yep, keep going.
And a people great and many and tall as the Anakims, but the Lord destroyed them.
Because man was tall back then. That's all it was. You had in particular nations that might have just been taller than others. Goliath. That's nothing. There's nothing trippy about that. Okay, you had bigger men back then. It tells you that in the Apocrypha. Ask a woman now, and she says with age, you know, that's all it is. Keep going.
A people great and many.
You know, I'm going to say this through the Spirit. The Lord started bringing men down to a more low, feeble level to do what? To increase the weapons. Because imagine having big, giant, brolic men. Would you really need a missile? Nah, just send a juggernaut in there. So the Lord decreased men to increase weapons and war. That's why he said, I gave him a great glittering sword. A simple man can't wield a big sword, but a silo can, a machine can. You see, the war machine, like my man Ozzy Osbourne said, he said the war machine is turning, bodies of blood, ashes are burning. So, you know, you brothers know, which I highly recommend. Listen to the song War Pigs. He said politicians hiding themselves while the poor go to war. See, this is all a plan. What you have to understand is the tactics of our enemy. Never trust thy enemy, but also understand his tactics. You see? Keep going.
It says, a people great and many and tall as Anakims, but the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, destroyed them before them.
Yeah, just like King David, he didn't have armor. He didn't have a sword. He destroyed him with the name. Now, IUIC believes it was a stone.
Right. An actual stone.
He's told us, he said, I thought it was a stone. But what's that, 1 Samuel 17:45? He said, by thy name.
Yep.
You see? So by thy name, when you look at the battles between Israel and other nations, even Google will tell you, it'll show you. When you go to battles, it goes into the generals, how many people fought, and how many people died. And when you look at Israel's casualties, guess how many it was? 0. But on the other side, it was 5,000, 10,000. You see, when the Lord was with us, death was nowhere near us. Okay? Keep going.
It says, as he did to the children of Esau who dwelt in Seir, which he destroyed the Horims before them.
Read this slow again. Watch. This proves that the Lord is with Esau. At appointed times, the Lord will be with Esau. For what? War. Okay? So you have to understand the Greco-Roman wars, the British-American wars. We might have to go into Daniel. The Spanish-American war, the French-Indian-American war, World War I, World War II, and ultimately World War III. The Lord is going to be with Esau as he was with him to take over what? Mount Seir. Right. See, Esau didn't just walk into Mount Seir. He went to war with the Horites and took it from them, and he became Mount Seir. Read it again, please.
As he did to the children of Esau.
Yup, so as he did, it's telling you, as the Lord did, or as the Lord was with Esau, what?
As he did unto the children of Esau, which dwelt in Seir,
Yup.
which he destroyed the Horims from before them.
The Lord destroyed the Horims before Esau. So the Lord is with Esau for battle when he needs them to be, because we're all characters in this movie. And Esau is the biggest, he has one of the biggest parts to play. Keep going.
And they succeeded them and dwelt in their stead, even unto this day.
It said what? They succeeded them. Now, why was the Lord with them? Now, if you go into this book, which I highly recommend brothers do, okay? It's called Who is Esau Edom? Now, what this book does is it breaks down a lot of information that has taken place throughout the world to expose who Esau Edom is. And even in this book, they know the 1948ers are Edomites, okay? Now, I want to read some real quick. It says, to help clear up confusion, we will attempt to identify one of the main characters in God's script, that being Esau or Esau Edom. It says we can identify who is Esau Edom by reading in the script, the Bible, what was written about him, what he was to be doing on stage, the earth. That's what it literally says, the earth. It says what his role was to be predestined, okay? And then it goes down and it says, watch this. Now I'm gonna read it verbatim for edification. It says, the script of the Most High reveals certain roles and characteristics surrounding Esau Edom by which we can identify this people. Listen to this. From the foregoing chapter, we have one good clue as to who may occupy the character of Esau Edom, that being the Jewish people. Right there. So it's telling you that Esau Edom to this day is the 1948ers. Right. And the 1948ers overtook what you know as the banking system in 1694. So that started his world domination over the earth. Why? Because now you're done with that? That's the spirit. Please read that. Job 9.
This is Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Right. Now wait. Now when was the earth given to the hand of the wicked? What can your brother say? When would you say, Gabar? When the earth was given to the hand of the wicked in history, in secular history? The Renaissance, the rebirth, when he came back out. Remember, Revelations 20, get it for him.
Right, when
Satan was loose. That was the what? In Europe, right? But what did he do? Did he just get loosed? No, he started infiltrating royal families. He started dealing with the monetary system, and then he infiltrated the banks.
He got loose and got loose.
He got loose with it. See? So Esau's dominance was given in the Renaissance, but when did he completely dominate the world? Well, you would say beginning with the Renaissance, but then ultimately through his wars over here, and then when he made the world accept the US dollar as currency. See? That, because what the dollar dominates the world. And who controls the dollar? Esau. Esau created the dollar. You see? That's backed by nothing but war and oil. Read that again. Oh, what you got?
Revelation.
Oh, yeah, let's go. Read that. Yeah, let this pass. We're gonna go into some history today. All right?
Revelation chapter 20. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 3. And cast them into the bottomless pit.
And now the bottomless pit, we all know, is speaking about Europa. All right? Europe. Right over here, you have Europe. All right? And this land is wretched, it's rancid. Even Elder Apostle Gabar was going in how London is a very haunted place. You know, the back roads of London, a lot of spirits. Yeah. All right? It's an elephant graveyard, if you will. All right? Europe is a destitute place. You see? The catacombs, which the catacombs came from us. We had to go underground because the persecution was so bad. You see? So read that again. The bottomless pit is speaking about Europe. So that means what? This is a time period. This was the fall of the Western Roman Empire. Western Europe, not the Eastern, because the Eastern was being ruled by who? Jake. Jake was in power. See? Through battles, through wars, power is translated. Algorithm. So you need war to translate kingdoms. You can't just have, okay, I'm it today. Nah, it don't work like that. The Lord don't work like that. How did we establish the land of Israel? We established it through war. Joshua, how many battles did Joshua fight? 13. He fought 13 battles. He put his foot on the necks of 5 kings, and one of them being the king of Jerusalem. He put his foot on their neck, and he told his other men, come put your foot here, to introduce and show them we are ruling now. This is my boat now. I'm the captain now. You see? But that's nothing but a playbook from the Bible. Now we just happen to have the basis of men with that playbook. Waterboy, at one point, he created the playbook, and then another man stole it. Remember, he said, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him. Because that's like Esau. Remember, he showed the ring, he was proud. That's America. And that's our playbook. But the Lord ain't never changed a playbook. So Esau got a playbook like this. We're going to take it from him and put it right side up and show him how you do it. You see? We know how to handle nations when we're transitioning power. All right? Even the land of Jerusalem. Okay? King David, he came in and did according to Deuteronomy 20. Did thou come peaceably? They said no. All right, let's get him. And who smote first? Joab. See? It's always war. It's always a transition of battle to a landmass. Just like here, which I get offended. Well, I used to, but I understand it. Esau, we say, you stole this land. No, he didn't. He conquered it. He didn't steal America. He conquered it. He conquered it in treacherous ways. Get it, Sirach 10? Please. He did it through unrighteous dealings. But did he not conquer it? He did, because why is Gad on reservations today? Through his politics and policies. Through his unrighteous decrees. Here you go. Read that.
Sirach 10 and verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings.
See, did you buy it? Did you trade for it? It's not like that. But the government's here to help. Read it again.
Sirach 10 and verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries.
Oh, injuries. Who's got their phone? Let's go into the etymology of the word injury. You're good. You're good. You need some? You good? Yeah. Let's go into etymology of the word injury.
Read it one more time.
Yeah, from the top. You got it? Okay, you read it. Come close, read it loud for the camera.
An injustice.
Oh, and a what?
An injustice.
So an injury is an injustice,
an insult, unlawful violence,
unlawful war crimes. Keep going.
Assault, damage, harm, unjust, wrongful, unlawful, opposite.
Unlawful. So he unlawfully conquered this land. Because we conquered the land what? Lawfully. Do we not have laws on war?
Yes.
Do you brothers know Deuteronomy 20? You use Deuteronomy 20, you blow the trumpet, you say that I'll come peacefully. He didn't do that. He used treachery. Real quick, watch this. Look, you got a whole book on Esau getting Gad drunk to get land. Okay? That's unlawful. Now, what does the Bible tell us? Don't mix what? Wine with the word, right? That was pretty much it, Gabar?
God.
So we're not to mix wine with the word, meaning we ain't gonna teach you drunk. So why would I do a business deal drinking? You know? We can spread out a little, brothers. There you go. All right? So where are we at? Read that again. So it says, read it again.
Back in Sirach 10 and verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings.
So unrighteous dealings, right? Like good movie to watch is Zorro. During the gold rush in 1945. 49ers.
Yeah, 49ers.
1949ers. Oh man, it all ties in. The gold, this all ties in. Everything ties in. It's all connected with Esau. The gold. In 1933, he took away gold, but in 1949, they struck gold. But in 1944, they commissioned gold to be backed by the dollar. It all ties in. But anyway, so the 1949ers, that's why you have the NFL team, 49ers. The 1949ers struck gold on the West Coast. The movie Zorro, do you know what the movie Zorro is based off? The movie Zorro is based off the military and the government striking gold, then making the Northern Kingdom dig in these caves for gold. Then they were paying them with their same gold, but keeping the majority of it. And then when other governments caught wind of it, they were going to destroy all the northern tribes in the caves with the gold and flee away with mounds of it that they already got. That's Esau. That's unrighteous. See? He'll pay you with the same gold that's in your house. You know?
Back in Sirach 10 and verse 8, and it says, injuries and riches got by deceit.
Oh, it says injuries got by deceit, which you're still 20. Beautiful. So injuries got by deceit. Unlawful ways, unlawful measures gotten by deceit, by lying. All right. Oh, they still speaking on Gad. Esau broke 430 peace treaties with Gad. 430 of them. To this day, legally, the Black Hills of what you know as Mount Rushmore is still owned by Gad. Legally. And guess what? Who goes to war with Gad over those hills? And mind you, they have gold in them. And guess who goes to war with them? The FBI. Because they found gold there. See? So does Esau want the dollars? He wants the gold. He wants the gold, then he wants to give you the dollar to keep you in debt and to keep you loaning out and keeping you in a destitute state. All the Federal Reserve knows is to keep you in debt. That's what it does. It keeps everyone in debt. As soon as you use the dollar, I can bring in my military, I can bring in my politicians, and I can bring in my embassies, and now I own your ass. That's what Esau does. Finish that?
And it says the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Now, Esau, now one would say, well, how does war play a part with the dollar? Well, you got to think about it. When you had the dollar bill, let me put it together. So think about World War II. The world accepted the US dollar in 1944 because of gold. But then what happened in 1945? All those great bombings. So these countries needed funding to rebuild their cities, right? What did the Bretton Woods Agreement of 1944 that allowed gold to back the dollar? Do you know what that act also created? Excuse my language, the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, and the World fucking Bank. So what did that do? That kept the platform for the world to still use the dollar, but not buy gold. This motherfucker's maniacal.
Clever in a very deceptive way.
So he created a platform of gold to back the dollar, but then he collapsed the gold. But before he did, he created two platforms to still keep the dollar afloat. And do you know what the IMF does? It goes through the earth to find out what country is in need of monetary aid. Money. That's what the IMF does. That's why 65% of the world currency is backed by the dollar. And those same countries that accept the US dollar have been bombed to hell and back from the US, and now they've been giving them the dollar to rebuild. What keeps the dollar relevant? You know who else keeps the dollar relevant? Niggas. What do? They hold the physical currency, money phone, sleeves. That keeps money, that keeps it relevant. War keeps the US dollar relevant. Because remember, the US dollar is used as a petrodollar for oil. So oil, war, destruction, rebuild through what? US dollar. See? So that's a tactic from Esau, Edom. Oh, you got that?
This is Revelation chapter 20 and verse 3. And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more.
Now the Lord put a seal, he put him in a base-like state, okay? He put him in a base-like state. And what was it, the Khazars? You know, the Ottoman Turks. So you still had Caucasians, the Caucasus Mountains. So you still had Esau, but he was in a very low estate and he wasn't ruling nothing. But he was going to war with like Vlad. Vlad hated Esau. Yeah. Okay? But watch, Vlad was
he was pretty much in the state of what the Lord did to Nebuchadnezzar.
Right.
In a beast state of mind.
Right.
Like he lost his mind. Talk about Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah, that was a Jake. That was an Israelite.
That's where they get laid.
Oh, wow. That makes sense. And who did he always beef with? The Ottoman Turks. He hated Esau. Let's keep going.
It says, and cast him into the bottomless pit.
Which is Europe.
And shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled.
Now, if you Google how long the medieval time period was, it'll actually say 1,000 years. But we know historically it was roughly little more, little less. The Lord deals with numbers, but not necessarily always exactly. So, but Esau, the medieval empire, us ruling over there, British, Scotland, right? All the area was about 1,000 years.
Yeah, it started in 325 AD with Constantine. And you could go to 1325, well, Satan began to be loose. And then in 1492, the rebirth, the Renaissance.
Now, and a fun fact real quick, since we're speaking about Rome and the fall of Rome, do you brothers know that the Bohemian Grove in California, is based off the Roman Empire? The Romans, there were certain kings that would take their men into a land called Bohemia. And it was a forest. So they were doing some ritual, same Romans. The deadly wound was healed. They're back now. Okay, just a fun fact for you brothers. But watch, keep reading.
It says,
the 1,000-year part.
And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season.
Right, so in the 1400s, he started slowly creeping back out. That's how he became of the royal family, marrying the women. Oh, prime example, Herod. Herod was a fake Jew. He was a tear, but his wife was an Israelite, but he was an Edomite. Herod helped build the second temple. You see? So that's a good example to show you. Now, Esau came out in what? The 1400s, started getting into rulership, but what was the currency at that time? Land and gold. You see? So it wasn't until the late 1600s when Esau, which I'll read it right here, it says, the Jewish merchants secured the bank charter in 1694. From that moment on, Esau Edom had financial dominion over all of Britain. So he first started over there because Britain was what? Ruling. Oh, Revelations, man, we could get Daniel 7 and Revelation 17 from the horn, and then out sprang the little horn. So this proves why Britain was so strong. Because, yeah, read Daniel's first, and then Revelation 17, because the Lord was bigging up British to fund bringing Esau over, but then he had a little horn come from that, who you know as the Pilgrims today. You see, why if the Lord allowed British to have the banks dominated and money and gold and revenue, why didn't the Lord use the British over here to establish America? Because you got to remember the little horn, and that's who? The Edomite Americans, when they came in 1619. Read this.
This is Daniel chapter 7 and verse
I mean, if you want to just start at 1 and we can zip through it.
Okay. Daniel chapter 7, verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had
Belshazzar, Nebuchadnezzar's son. Because remember, Nebuchadnezzar II is the one who destroyed Jerusalem. Destroyed it all, took everything from us. But his son was ruling and getting drunk, drinking out of those vessels his father stole. So you can use Nebuchadnezzar and Belshazzar as a great example of prepare slaughter for his children. Your father did this, but your bitch ass, but your ass now in rulership got to pay for it. Just like Esau. His father, the early Europeans and so on and so forth, but you still got us those precious vessels. Now you gonna answer for it in the writings on the wall for his ass. Keep going.
It says, in the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed.
So the Lord gave a vision the first year of his son, Nebuchadnezzar's son ruling. So he gave him a vision right off the bat, like you about to get jacked up, right? So he didn't even get to rule in peace. He could have been paranoid. There was a reason that ass was drinking. All right, read it again. Here, brother, spread out a little. There you go. Yep, there you go.
It says, then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matter.
Oh, people do that today. They got what? A dream journal. People are giving dreams. Oh, Job, it says in sleep, the Lord seeth your instructions. Yeah, there's times where I speak as, as personal testimony, even last night. Because when you get certain information, the Spirit's still dealing with you even in your sleep. Like Neo. He's, and then he said, I know jujitsu. You see? So even in your sleep, the Lord can still pour the Spirit on you, Like I woke up, I told a brother, I said, I don't think I was sleeping. I said, I felt like I was just thinking all night. And I felt I got a night's rest. I'm good. I'm not tired. But I knew this nonstop, all my thoughts, it was just, information. Keep going.
It says, Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the 4 winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea. And 4 beasts came up from the sea.
Now it said 4 beasts, that's 4 empires, but why didn't it say 5? Because the Egyptian rulership already happened. So that proves that Belshazzar got a vision of future and present events. No need to talk about Egypt. But that was a beast, if you will. It was an empire, a great rulership, right? But did Belshazzar see Egypt? No, because the Lord showed him present and future. No need for past. It already took place. Keep going.
It says, and 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another.
Now it said diverse. Why? 2 nations are in thy womb. They shall be separated from thy bowels. Each beast was a different nation. It was a different empire, but in that empire was also different nations. Okay? And even some of the beasts were mingled with more than one ruling nation. Keep going.
The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings.
Right. What is that called again?
A griffin.
A griffin. This is the Babylonian Empire. Okay? The Babylonian rulership.